Parliament. 100 years ago, the New South Wales Government supported a thriving primary industry in the name of jobs, property rights, economic growth and revenues to the public purse. The industry operated across all states and involved the slaughter of well over 8 million koalas and the export of their furs, mainly to the United Kingdom. At least 4 million of the koala pelts were sent to the USA, and trade only ceased when the American Secretary of Commerce signed an order prohibiting further imports. How embarrassing. The koalas were hunted to functional extinction in South Australia, where well-intentioned conservationists, alarmed by these losses, relocated several koalas to Kangaroo Island, which had never before had koalas, creating a new environmental disaster on the fragile environment of that island, which is still being mitigated today. In Victoria, it's estimated that hunting continued until barely 1,000 koalas were left, and the Australian Koala Foundation estimates fewer than 500 were left alive in New South Wales. After that, the slaughter moved north to Queensland, where a month-long event known as Black August in 1927 saw more than 800,000 koalas killed. We have made, excuse me, we have made so many mistakes. The koala fur traders who profited from their pelts are all dead and gone, but the impacts of what they did are with us today. And one day, all of us here in this chamber will be dead and gone. But the impacts of what we decide today will last forever. And I do not want this government, this parliament, to be remembered for a massive policy error added to the very long list of errors already we have been making for more than a century. Particularly when everyone from the scientists to the councils to passionate communities are telling us so clearly that this is not what they want. It is safe to say my own North Coast region fragile koala numbers have declined significantly. We know that the region, already endangered, lost another 71% of our koalas during the Black Summer fires, and our koalas are in so much trouble. The plight of koalas is really well understood by my community and indeed the whole world, who donated tens of millions of dollars, stunning act of generosity, for funds specifically established to help koalas. My community is incredibly distressed by this legislation. I mean, I have not had one person in all of the communication sent to me on this issue, I have not had a single person ask me to vote for this bill. Not one. I cannot find the constituency for this legislation. All I can find is enormous distress and mistrust. And the Minister's second reading speech, referring to a promise by the Planning Minister not to proclaim any more environmental lands, was a huge shock to me personally,